Hey everybody, Jessica here from doitbetteryourself.club, and today I'm going to be showing you how to sew a single welt pocket using my newest pattern, the Babe Hoodie. Now before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can get access to all my future tutorials. So we're going to start with our front panel piece and lay it out flat, where you're going to go ahead and mark your welt pocket positions, and you're going to do that on both sides of the front panel piece. If you don't have a tracing wheel or tracing paper, an easy way to do this is to just go ahead and cut out the welt marking from your front panel piece like I have done here, and then you can just overlay it on top of your front panel piece and then just mark it with your washable marker. If you have a tracing wheel and tracing paper though, go ahead and use that instead so that you preserve your pattern pieces. And then grab your welt pocket pieces, and you're going to have two that are mirrored that you are just going to leave alone, and then grab the other two mirror pieces and iron on your fusible interfacing and make the identical markings on those. So we're going to take our pocket pieces with the interfacing and lay them over top of our front panel piece so that this marking matches the marking on the front panel. And you're going to notice that the pocket is going to hang out from the bottom of the front panel a little bit, like this. But when we add our band for length, that's going to be taken care of. So go ahead and get some pins and pin this in position over top of the front panel on both sides. And with these pinned, we're going to go ahead and take this over to our sewing machine and follow this outside rectangle here with a straight stitch going all the way around, making sure to back stitch as well. And with the pockets sewn on around this border here, we're going to go ahead and cut along this line, making sure to go all the way through and stopping at these circle points here. And we're going all the way through the front panel and the pocket on that line. So start by folding it in half and then making a little snip right here in the middle. And then you're going to just fish your scissors right through that hole and then cut along this line and stop right at these circles. Flip it around and do this other side. And then once you get to this end here and you have it open, we're going to cut from this point out to the corners, but make sure that you don't cut through your stitch when you do so. Go on both directions, out from this point, all the way to all four of these corners here. Now let's go ahead and do the other side. And with both pockets cut down the center, we're going to grab the pocket piece and pull it all the way through to the other side, the wrong side of our front panel piece. And it's going to take a little bit of finagling, but work your fabric so that it is nice and flat. We want a nice crisp welt pocket opening, and you'll just do that by kind of pulling the fabric along that rectangle and pushing it flat. Now go ahead and grab your iron and place your front panel piece down with your pocket facing up and flatten it out again. And this time we are going to press it all along the edge of the rectangle here. With your welt opening nice and flat, we're going to go ahead and move this to the side for just a second and grab our welt piece. And then we are going to fold it in half. And then we're going to press it so that we get a good crisp edge at the top here. And with that pressed, we'll lay out our pocket again and put it over top so that it is covering our welt opening, but we want to position it so that it is barely beneath the top of our opening right here, because we want to be able to put our hands in the pocket pretty easy. And let's pin that on. So with the pins keeping it secure, when you flip it over, and this marking right here is going to wash out just fine, you're going to go ahead and sew a top stitch along the side here and down across the bottom and over the other side through your front panel and the welt piece. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this to the other side as well, and then we'll do a stitch on the side, the bottom, and on the other side. And it is time to sew. So with the pocket openings top stitched along the side, the bottom, and the other side here, we're going to go ahead and take the time to flip this over and make sure that everything is laid out perfectly flat. Now we're going to grab our other pocket pieces and lay them over top of the existing pieces that are sewn onto the front panel, and just lay them out so that it is smooth across the entire pocket. And at this point, we're going to grab these 2 layers of our pockets here and pin them around the top and the edges, just catching these 2 layers, not the front panel piece. Just these 2 pocket layers all the way around on both sides. And with these pinned together, we are going to take this over to the serger or sewing machine and sew all the way around this border here, just catching the pocket pieces and the welt and making sure not to catch our front panel piece at all. So all the way around the edge on both pockets. And with our pockets serged, we're going to flip over our shirt and take the time to flatten it out so that the top of the opening of our welt pocket is just barely over top of the welt piece right here. And then we're going to pin this down in these 3 spots across both welt openings. And finally, we are going to top stitch across the top here, making sure to sew through the 2 layers of our pocket and the front panel piece, but not sewing through our welt piece right here. So let's sew across the top and finish this up. And that is how you sew a single welt pocket. Please make sure to subscribe to see all my future tutorials, and I hope to see you next time.